In the spotlight tonight is David Thompson from Surrey, a public relations consultant. His specialist subject is the plays of William Shakespeare. Ian Pickering from Cheshire, an accounts assistant, is taking the recordings of the Beatles from 1962 to 1970 as his specialist subject. Alex Roberts from Hertfordshire is an administrative assistant, and his subject is the history and genealogy of European royalty. Geoffrey Thomas from Cheshire, a retired lecturer, whose subject is the history of Lancashire County Cricket Club. Good evening and welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. I'm sure you know the rules by now. They're not exactly complicated. We have two sets of questions, both lasting for 2 minutes. The first on the specialist subject and the second on general knowledge. All we want to do is find out how much our contenders know and whether they can remember it under pressure. One of them will go through to the quarter-finals with the chance of becoming Mastermind 2003, a much coveted honour. So, may I have our first contender, please? And your name is?
David Thompson.
Your occupation?
I'm a public relations consultant.
And your specialist subject?
The plays of William Shakespeare.
2 minutes on the plays of William Shakespeare, starting now. Printed in 1594, what is Shakespeare's first Roman tragedy?
Titus Andronicus.
Correct. Opening in a room in a French palace, which comedy begins, "In delivering my son from me, I bury a second husband," spoken by the Countess of Roussillon?
All's well that ends well.
Correct. What is the name of the simple constable in Measure for Measure?
Elbow.
Correct. With whom is Shakespeare thought to have written The Two Noble Kinsmen and Henry VIII?
John Fletcher.
Correct. In A Midsummer Night's Dream, what is the trade of Peter Quince?
He's a carpenter.
Correct. What would Shylock not have given for a wilderness of monkeys?
Leah's ring.
His turquoise ring. Correct. Sung by Desdemona in Othello, which song ends with the line, "If I court more women, you'll couch with more men"?
Willow, Willow.
The Willow song. Correct. Which 16th century Italian wrote the tales on which Othello and Measure for Measure are based?
Boccaccio.
It was Cinthio. Who confesses, though I'm not naturally honest, I am so sometimes by chance?
Pass.
Which churchman crowns King Henry VI in a room of state in Paris?
The Pope.
No, the Bishop of Winchester. Which play was also known in Jacobean times as All is True?
Henry VIII.
Correct. Whose dying words are, "Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me"?
Edmund.
No, Laertes. Which pair of lovers are discovered playing at chess in a cell?
Ferdinand and Miranda.
Correct. Which character in As You Like It usually sings the song that begins, "Blow, blow, thou winter wind"?
Amiens.
Correct. Of whom had Falstaff observed, "When I was naked, he was for all the world like a forked radish"?
Shallow.
Correct. In Measure for Measure, who, beloved of Claudio, finds herself with child?
Juliet.
Correct. In 1613, the Globe Theatre burned to the ground when its thatch caught fire at the discharge of a cannon during a performance of which play?
Henry VIII.
Correct. In Antony and Cleopatra, an asp is brought to Cleopatra in a basket said to contain which fruit?
Figs.
Correct. The proverbial expression, "The course of true love never did run smooth," I've started, so I'll finish the question, is a line from which of Shakespeare's plays?
A Midsummer Night's Dream.
You are right there as well. You passed on only one question. It was Autolycus who confesses, "Though I'm not naturally honest, I am so sometimes by chance." But, David Thompson, you scored 15 points. And our second contender now, please. And your name is?
Ian Pickering.
Occupation?
Accounts assistant.
And your chosen subject?
The recordings of the Beatles from 1962 to 1970.
2 minutes on that, starting now. Which track on the Rubber Soul album was the first major pop record to feature the music of the sitar?
Norwegian Wood.
Correct. Which record producer was brought in to make John Lennon's Instant Karma and continued to supervise much of the Apple label output?
Phil Spector.
Correct. Which track on the album The Beatles, and released in '68, was Ringo's first complete solo composition?
Don't Pass Me By.
Correct. What was the apt title of the final proper track on the album Abbey Road, the last complete album recorded by George Martin with the Beatles?
The End.
Correct. The lyrics of which Beatles song referred to a work based on a novel by a man named Lear?
Paperback writer.
Correct. Featuring on the double EP Magical Mystery Tour, what was the title of the Beatles' only instrumental release?
Flying.
Correct. Which Beatles disc was the first single to top the US charts without being released as a single in Britain?
Yesterday.
No, 8 Days a Week. Devoted Beatles fan Diane Ashley, who once even broke into Paul's home, inspired which track on the Abbey Road album?
She came in through the bathroom window.
She did indeed. The song Michelle first appeared on which Beatles album?
Rubber Soul.
Correct. Which track written during the final hours of Lennon's stay in Rishikesh was originally written about the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi?
Sexy Sadie.
Correct. Which much-recorded ballad first appeared on the Beatles' Help album, although it was not in the film and not released as a single in Britain until 1976?
Yesterday.
Correct. What was the number on the label of the Beatles' second parlophone single, Please Please Me?
Pass.
The sound effects on which Beatles chart topper were produced partly by John blowing through a straw while the group's chauffeur, Alf Bicknell, rattled chains in the bath?
Yellow Submarine.
Correct. Mick Jagger and Keith Richards were among a group of friends who took part in the live recording of which Beatles chart topper broadcast for the first global link up Our World from Abbey Road Studios?
All You Need Is Love.
Correct. The first Beatles A-side, penned by George Harrison, was released in 1969 and reached number 4 in Britain. Also a hit for Shirley Bassey the following year. What was it called?
Something.
Correct. In April '64, which Beatles single became the first ever record to top the British and US charts simultaneously?
Can't Buy Me Love.
You're right on that one as well. So, you had one pass. The number on the label of the Beatles' second parlophone single, Please Please Me, was, why you should have known this, heaven knows, 4983.
There you go.
However, Ian Pickering, you scored 14 points.
Thank you very much.
And our third contender, please. And your name is?
Alex Roberts,
And your occupation?
Administrative Assistant.
And your special subject?
The History and Genealogy of European Royalty.
2 minutes on that, starting now. On behalf of which of his children did the Emperor Leopold I enter the War of the Spanish Succession?
His son, the future Charles VI.
Correct. Which Italian ruler was assassinated by the anarchist Gaetano Bresci in 1900?
Pass.
In which month of 1825 did Grand Duke Constantine refuse to lead a revolt against the accession of his younger brother Nicholas I to the throne of Russia?
March.
December. In addition to renouncing any claim to the throne of Greece on becoming a British subject, Prince Philip renounced his claim to the throne of which other European state?
Denmark.
Correct. Which future monarch joined the Jacobin Club in 1790 but deserted the French Revolutionary armies with Dumouriez in 1793?
Louis Philippe.
Correct. Who succeeded Olaf V as King of Norway in 1991?
Harold V.
Correct. Which Holy Roman Emperor attempted to control the succession to his territories by the Pragmatic Sanction of 1713?
Charles VI.
Correct. Which daughter of King George I of Britain married Frederick William I of Prussia and became the mother of Frederick the Great?
Sophia.
Correct. The reign of Frederick III of Germany, who married the eldest daughter of Queen Victoria, lasted how many days?
88.
99. Under what name did the Duke of Holstein-Gottorp become ruler of Russia in 1762?
Peter II.
Peter III. In which year did the House of Savoy cease to rule Italy after a referendum?
Pass.
Which of Napoleon's generals was a descendant of Stanislav II of Poland and was created a marshal during the battle in which he died?
Pass.
To which branch of the House of Wettin did William IV's Queen Adelaide belong?
Saxon-Meiningen.
Correct. Which Baltic duchy was ruled by Anna, the daughter of the Russian Emperor Ivan V, before she became Empress of Russia in 1730?
Courland.
Correct. What relationship was Philip V of Spain to Louis XIV of France?
Brother.
No, grandson. What was the name of the Ekaterinburg engineer who owned the House of Special Purpose, in which Nicholas II and his family were murdered?
Pass.
And that is the 2 minutes up. You passed on the name of the Yekaterinburg engineer. It was Nikolai Nikhailovich Ipatiev. You also passed on these. Napoleon's general, which of his generals was a descendant of Stanislav II of Poland? Joseph Anton. In which year did the House of Savoy cease to rule Italy? That was 1946. And the Italian ruler assassinated by Bresci was Umberto I. So, you passed on 4 questions. Alex Roberts, you have scored 8 points. And our 4th contender, please. And your name is?
Geoffrey Thomas,
Occupation?
retired lecturer,
And your specialist subject?
the history of Lancashire County Cricket Club.
2 minutes, starting now. What was the name of the Australian fast bowler who played for Lancashire in the 1920s and 30s and was killed in a car crash in 37?
Ted MacDonald,
Correct. In which year did Lancashire win their first Gillette Cup title?
1970.
Correct. Current wicketkeeper Warren Hegg is second to whom on the all-time list of dismissals made for Lancashire?
George Duckworth,
Correct. Which famous writer opened the new Neville Carter's Press Gallery at Old Trafford in 87?
Jim Swanton,
No, John Arlott. In which ground did Lancashire play a county match for the first time in 1959?
Southport,
Correct. Which former Lancashire player is the grandfather of current squad member Kyle Hogg?
Sonny Ramadin,
Correct. Who won a Man of the Match award in a Lord's final without scoring a run or taking a wicket?
John Abrahams,
Correct. Which other sport did Alan Wharton also play professionally?
Rugby League,
Correct. Which county did Jack Bond join as player and captain after leaving Lancashire?
Leicestershire,
No, Nottinghamshire. Which Liverpool dentist captained Lancashire and England in a very brief first-class career just after the end of the Second World War?
Ken Cranston,
Correct. In which year did Lancashire last win the county championship outright?
1934.
Correct. At Headingley in 1924, Yorkshire was set 58 to win. Dick Tilsley and Cecil Parkin dismissed Yorkshire for what total to win the game?
33.
Correct. Which Lancashire batsman has made the highest score in a first-class game against Yorkshire?
Graham Lloyd,
Correct. In which year did Old Trafford host its first Test match?
1894.
No, 1884. The first three Lancashire players to play for England did so in 1878 to 79. They were VPFA Royal, SS Schultz, who was the other?
A.N. Hornby,
Correct. Which Lancashire bowler took all 10 wickets in a Worcestershire innings at Blackpool in 1953?
Bob Berry,
Correct. Off which Gloucestershire bowler did David Hughes hit 24 runs off a single over in the famous 1971 Gillette Cup semi-final at Old Trafford?
John Mortimer,
Correct. In 1982, who made his debut for Lancashire despite having already played for Warwickshire earlier in the season?
Alan Ormerod,
No, Chris Maynard. In the record-breaking game against Warwickshire at Southport in 1982, started, so I'll finish, which Lancashire batsman scored a century in each innings with the aid of a runner?
Graham Fowler,
Correct. You had no passes at all there. Geoffrey Thomas, you have scored 15 points. Now, that brings us to the end of our first round on specialist subjects. They don't come much closer. Let's have a look at the scores. In fourth place on 8 points is Alex Roberts. In third place on 14 points is Ian Pickering. In second place on 15 points and 1 pass is David Thompson. In the lead with 15 points and no passes is Geoffrey Thomas. So we go on to round two and general knowledge. And do remember that if there is a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes will be taken into consideration. And the contender with the fewest passes will be declared the winner. So on with the general knowledge round. And let me first ask Alex Roberts to take the chair again. And you scored 8 points in that round, Alex, on European royalty. The appeal of European royalty is what for you?
The complexity, I'm afraid, doesn't seem to have served me very well.
Well, but you need to know an enormous amount. I mean, you cover a huge period.
About 1,000 people, yes. It's,
What, 1,000 people during that spell?
just about, yes.
Well, let's see how you're going to do. You had 8 points, as I say, in your specialist round, so let's see how you do with general knowledge, and you have 2 minutes on that, starting now. Which part of the body is normally massaged in reflexology?
The foot.
Correct. Which 1967 film featured Simon and Garfunkel singing Mrs. Robinson and Scarborough Fair on the soundtrack?
The Graduate.
Correct. Dr. Johnson considered claret to be the drink for boys and port the drink for men. What did he consider the drink for he who aspires to be a hero?
Beer.
No, it was brandy. Northwich in Cheshire has been a centre since Roman times for the mining of what substance?
Salt.
Correct. What name is given to a wheel whose function is to smooth out delivery of power from a motor to a machine?
Cam.
No, the flywheel. Which American travel writer who lived in the Yorkshire Dales for several years was born in Des Moines, Iowa in 1951?
Bill Bryson.
Correct. What on an Ordnance Survey map is indicated by 2 crossed swords?
Battlefield.
Correct. Which country with Asmara as its capital was federated with Ethiopia from 1952 and annexed 10 years later, but declared its independence in 1993?
Eritrea.
Correct. Who in 1981 became the first man to beat Bjorn Borg in a Wimbledon singles final?
Boris Becker.
No, John McEnroe. The surrender of which town inspired a painting by Velázquez glorifying the military success of Philip IV of Spain?
Pass.
Which former Labour Home Secretary and Chancellor of the Exchequer who co-founded the SDP in 1981 died in January of this year at the age of 82?
Pass.
On which English Test cricket ground are the Grace Gates and the Tavern Boundary?
Lords.
Correct. Which of Wagner's operas opens on a ship bound for Cornwall?
The Flying Dutchman.
No, Tristan and Isolde. Which dish of chicken or veal cooked with tomatoes and garnished with mushrooms is named after one of Napoleon's victories?
Marengo.
Correct. In which fictional country did Anthony Hope set his novel The Prisoner of Zenda?
Ruritania.
Correct. Which singer has the surname Gudmundsdóttir, although she does not use it professionally?
Björk.
Correct. What name is given to the hairstyle originally worn by male members of the Rastafarian sect in Jamaica?
Dreadlocks.
Correct. What name was given to the divisions of about 6,000 soldiers, normally divided... I've started, so I'll finish. Normally divided into 10 cohorts, which made up the army of ancient Rome?
Legion.
Legions is correct. So, you had 2 passes on that round, and they were the former Labour Home Secretary, Chancellor of the Exchequer, lots of other things beside who died this year was Lord Jenkins, Roy Jenkins. The surrender of the town, inspiring a painting by Velázquez, the town was Breda, the painting The Surrender of Breda. Alex Robert, you scored 8 in the first round. You now have a total of 20 points. And now let me ask Ian Pickering to come and join us. Well, you scored 14. A very good score indeed. An encyclopedic knowledge of the Beatles. You must come from Liverpool, or is that just a bit of role
not too far from
typecasting on my part?
It is, yeah.
So
Not far away from Liverpool, but Cheshire.
So why the fascination with the Beatles?
They've always been there in the background. You know, I was only a child in the 60s, but I was aware of all the records on the radio, and then when I got a bit older, in the 70s, I actually caught up with buying them, and I listened to lots of other things, but I always go back to them.
So it isn't just that you're interested in them, you actually like them?
I do, yes.
Still?
Still, yes.
But you're also, forgive me for saying that you don't exactly look as if it, but you are a, can I call you a punk rocker?
I was into the new wave punk music when that came along as well, yeah. I still listen to that sometimes.
But you're not now?
Well, the spirit of it is still there in me. Yeah,
well, thank you for that. Let's turn to your general knowledge, see how you do with that, having 14 points so far in your back pocket. You have 2 minutes on general knowledge starting now. Whose day is celebrated in America on the second Monday in October?
Columbus.
Correct. What name is given to the hot, dusty wind that blows across the Mediterranean from North Africa?
Sirocco.
Correct. Which American singer and songwriter won an Oscar for the song Streets of Philadelphia from the film Philadelphia?
Bruce Springsteen.
Correct. Which Asian country is known as Bharat in its official native language?
Thailand.
India. Which classic horror novel is told through the diaries of Jonathan Harker and his fiancée Mina, among others?
Dracula.
Correct. Lee Kuan Yew was Prime Minister of which Commonwealth country when it became self-governing in 1959 until 1990?
Singapore.
Correct. Which cook published her first book, How to Cheat at Cooking, in 1973?
Delia Smith.
Correct. Which future England manager won the last of his 32 caps against Hungary in the infamous 6-3 defeat at Wembley in 1953?
Sir Alf Ramsey.
Correct. Which breed of dog takes its name from the Welsh for dwarf dog?
Corgi.
Correct. Which legendary naked horseback rider was the wife of Leofric, Earl of Chester?
Lady Godiva.
Correct. Which parliamentary office, first held by Sir Peter de la Mare in 1376, remained a male-only preserve until 1992?
Pass.
What is the title of Holman Hunt's painting of Jesus Christ carrying a lantern and knocking on the door of a house?
The Light of the World.
Correct. What name is shared by a fishing port in the Algarve region of Portugal and the former capital of Nigeria?
Pass.
Which explosive ingredient of dynamite, first prepared by the Italian chemist Ascanio Sobrero in 1846, so horrified him with its power that he refused to develop it?
Saltpeter.
It was nitroglycerin. Which piece of sporting equipment weighs 2 kilograms when used by men and 1 kilogram when used by women?
The shot in the shot put.
It's the discus. Which fish thought to have been extinct for 60 million years was discovered off the coast of South Africa in 1938?
Coelacanth.
Correct. Sandy Dombrowski and Danny Zuko are leading characters in which musical?
Greece.
Correct. Which supersonic plane is being retired from service at the end of October 2003 by BA and Air France after 27 years?
The Concorde.
The Concorde, and we just fitted that one in. You had 2 passes. The name shared by the fishing port in the Algarve region of Portugal and the former capital of Nigeria, which of course you knew was Lagos. You got it, a minute afterwards you got it, yeah. And which parliamentary office was first held by Sir Peter de la Mare in 1376? It was the Speaker of the House of Commons. So you've had 14 points in your first round. You have now gone up, Ian Pickering, to 27 points.
Okay.
And now, David Thompson, would you please come and join us? Well, equal on 15 points as we speak. So let's see what's going to happen as a result of all this. And to judge by your accent, you're American. You've been here very long?
I have. I've been back and forth for about 15 years. This stint, I've been here about 6 years.
And you were an actor?
I was indeed, yes. I worked in the theatre as an actor and director for about 3 years, and during which time I fell in love with an actress, got married, went broke, and realized I'd better get back into a more lucrative career.
Right. Again, you've already done terribly well with 15 points. You now have 2 minutes on general knowledge. Starting now, what name is given to the fluid content of blood?
Plasma.
Correct. Which aircraft got its name from the hump-shaped fairing over the twin machine guns in its nose?
Pass.
What word now meaning a particularly pleasant drink was originally the name of the drink of the Greek gods?
Nectar.
Correct. In which Italian city is the origin of Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper to be seen?
Rome.
No, it's Milan. Which British naval hero was given the title the Duke of Bronte by the King of Naples in 1799?
Napoleon.
No, Lord Nelson. Broadwood of Woodchester in Gloucestershire, which ceased production in April 2003 after 265 years, was the oldest manufacturer of which musical instrument?
Violins.
No, pianos. Karantuil, at 1,041 metres, is the highest mountain in which country?
India.
No, Ireland. Which politician, when Secretary of State for Education in Edward Heath's government, was nicknamed Milk Snatcher?
Pass.
Smooth, palmate and warty are all species of which amphibian native to Britain?
Newt.
Correct. Which actor's first film as a director was Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, in which he also appeared?
George Clooney.
Correct. Which actress and singer topped the UK singles chart in 77 with Don't Cry for Me, Argentina from the musical Evita?
Madonna.
No, Julie Covington. In computing, how many bits normally make up a byte?
8.
Correct. In the long-running television comedy series, which fictional seaside town was defended by Dad's Army?
Pass.
In golf, what name is given to a hole played in 2 strokes less than par?
An eagle.
Correct. Edmond Dantes is the vengeful hero of which novel by Alexander Dumas?
Man in the Iron Mask.
No, the Count of Monte Cristo. Sphalerite and smithsonite are 2 of the principal ores of which metal?
Lead.
No, zinc. The lines, "Come dungeons dark or gallows grim, this song shall be our parting hymn," come from which political anthem?
Pass.
The design, I've started so I'll finish, the design of the ceremonial uniform of the Swiss Guards, the Pope's personal bodyguard, is generally attributed to which great artist?
Michelangelo.
Correct. So, you had 4 passes in that round, and I think most of them, or many of them, are connected with the fact that you're American and not English. Hence, you wouldn't have known which was the seaside town in Dad's Army.
No, that escaped me.
Well, unsurprisingly, Warmington-on-Sea. Similarly, we all know Milk Snatcher
Margaret
was,
Thatcher,
of course, Margaret
of course.
Thatcher. Exactly. The aircraft that got its name from the hump-shaped fairing was the Sopwith Camel. And the lines, "Come dungeons dark or gallows grim, this song shall be our parting hymn," is from the Red Flag. So you had 15 points in the first round. You now have, David Thompson, a total of 22 points. And now, Geoffrey Thomas, would you please join us? Well, you're in the lead as we speak with 15 points. Obviously a huge fan of Lancashire cricket team.
Yes, I have supported them for longer than I care to remember.
How long? Tell us.
Since 1946.
That is a long time.
It is a long time.
But ask you how old you were then.
No.
You're entirely, absolutely allowed not to answer that question. Yeah, we'll just guess. I colour you without you telling me your Harold Wilson story. Somebody told me you'd had a set-to with him in the street when he was Prime Minister.
It's the only time I've reprimanded the Prime Minister publicly
What
in
did
the
he do?
street. I was walking my dog and Harold Wilson God rest his soul, came round the corner of a building with his dog, and the dogs sort of went for each other, whereupon Mr. Wilson took his a leather strap or leash and started to whack his dog. So I turned on Mr. Wilson and reprimanded him loudly and publicly for being cruel to animals. And he sort of looked at me and said, well, he won't do as he's told, you know. So I remember how he used to speak. Well, it's not only yourself who can take it out.
I shall bear that in mind. Right, general knowledge. You're ahead with 15 points and no passes as we speak. Let's see how you do in the next 2 minutes. General knowledge round starting now. The north and south branches of which river join near Hexham in Northumberland?
The Tweed.
The Tyne. A Mustang is a name used in the western USA for a wild or half-wild specimen of which animal?
Horse.
Correct. Which publishing magnate owned the yacht the Lady Ghislaine, from which he mysteriously disappeared and drowned in 91?
Robert Maxwell.
Correct. Green, Hare Street, Chalk Hill Blue and Small Copper are all species of what?
Butterfly.
Correct. Which novel is narrated by the unnamed second wife of Maxime de Winter?
Rebecca.
Correct. Which disease was first successfully treated by injection when Louis Pasteur saved the life of 9-year-old Joseph Meister in 1885?
Rabies.
Correct. Which cult television series of the 1960s was filmed in the Welsh village of Portmeirion?
The Prisoner.
Correct. To which city is St. Paul thought to have made his final journey as a prisoner, probably dying there in about 67 AD?
Damascus.
Rome. Which English artist designed the stained glass in the baptistry window in Coventry Cathedral?
John Piper.
Correct. Which 20th century German composer of popular opera wrote September Song for the 1938 musical Knickerbocker Holiday?
Kurt Weill.
Correct. Which nationwide league football club's badge consists of 2 crossed cutlasses and a white rose?
Middlesbrough.
Sheffield United. Noted for its numerous small craters and lava fields, which is the easternmost of the Canary Islands?
Tenerife.
It's Lanzarote. Which dish, a specialty of Switzerland, consists basically of melted cheese with wine and flavourings?
Fondue.
Correct. In 85, the number of gold stars on the flag of the European Community was standardised at how many?
12.
Correct. The Nobel Peace Prize winner Dr. Albert Schweitzer was an accomplished exponent of which musical instrument, specialising in the works of Bach?
Organ.
Correct. Which of Tony Blair's advisers raised nearly £300,000 for the Leukemia Research Fund when he completed the last London Marathon in under 4 hours?
Mr. Campbell.
Correct. Which members of the royal family celebrates his birthday on June the 10th?
Duke of Edinburgh.
Correct. Situated on the right side of the abdomen, McBurney's point is the site of maximum tenderness in an acute case of what?
Appendicitis.
Correct. Appendicitis it was. You had no passes. You scored 15 points in the first round. You now have a total of 29 points. Well, at the end of the general knowledge round, let's look at the scores. In 4th place with 20 points, Alex Roberts. In 3rd place with 22 points, David Thompson. In 2nd place with 27 points is Ian Pickering, who could yet go through to the quarter-finals, because that's a very high score, depending on what happens in subsequent rounds, of course. But in 1st place, somebody who will go through to the quarter-finals with 29 points is Geoffrey Thomas. Please join us next time for more Masterminds. Thanks for watching. Good night.
The Genius of Invention team tonight reveal the story of the British boffins who pioneered speedy travel and transport, the innovators of speed at 9. But next on BBC Two, memories of mining in the real history of Britain.